Sunderland are back on home soil after 3 games on the road, which included that FA Cup success last weekend. We're delighted to be here again at the Stadium of Lights, where the Black Cats remain unbeaten this season, and today they welcome Crystal Palace to Wearside. A Crystal Palace that crashed out of the Cup last weekend to non-league Macclesfield, and a side that have now lost their captain to Manchester City and also know their manager, Oliver Glasner, won't be with them next season. 4 changes from last weekend's FA Cup win at Everton. O'Nien, Sirkin, Adingra and Mayenda are all relegated to the substitutes bench. In come Dan Ballard, Omar Alderete, Reinildo, who's back from the African Cup of Nations, and Brian Brobby is back in to lead the Sunderland attack. Crystal Palace in their changed colours here on Wearside today. Sunderland will defend the Roker end away to our right. The 2 sides played out a goalless draw in the reverse fixture back in September. Can Sunderland make home advantage count once more at the Stadium of Light today? Given away by Xhaka here. Here's Jeremy Pino. Pino all the way. Pino trying to play in Mateta. Robin Roofs to the rescue. How many times have we said that this season? Robin Roofs comes good again and bails out Granit Xhaka after a huge error from him. That's a decent ball in for Mateta. Roofs with the save, and the rebound fell to Brennan Johnson, who lifted it over the crossbar. But Robin Roofs has been a busy man in the last couple of minutes, and as always, he's doing his job with his normal efficiency. This was in fact flagged offside anyway. Ronaldo, Xhaka. Lofted forward for Brobby, back to goal, holding it up, bringing in Lefay, playing it on for Trey Hume, who'd made a dart into the penalty area, but away by Crystal Palace, and happy to concede the throw. Chris Richards. Who can he pick out? Into the penalty area, where it will result in a corner. Ballard was beaten to it by Lacroix. Corner sent in and headed wide. Trey Hume, well, he saw that quite clearly. It was a very presentable opportunity once more for Sunderland, and Trey Hume heads wide of goal. Met it well, but couldn't direct it on target for his first of this campaign. The fate. Cleared by Lerma. Free kick awarded here for a foul on Mateta. So Palace free kick. Alderete is there. Picked up by Adam Wharton. And that will be a Palace corner. Robin Roofs is there, got something on it, not away yet, and placed home by Jeremy Pino. Just lobbed into the corner of Robin Roofs' net. And Crystal Palace fans high up in the Cowling stand, the north end of the stadium. They're a happy bunch at the moment, seeing their side lead by that Jeremy Pino goal on the half-hour mark. Here is Pino. Xhaka, who was caught. Free kick has been... Well, the referee has let play go on in the end. Sunderland have the ball. Hume, Xhaka, nicely done. Mukiele galloping forward down the right, putting a low ball in. Lefay! That's the response! And that's Enzo Lefebvre again for Sunderland. Only behind for a couple of minutes. A brilliantly worked goal, finished nonchalantly by Enzo Lefebvre. A scorer last weekend in the Cup, a scorer again in the Premier League for Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. This weekend, Mukiele's ball in. Robbie left it because he knew Lefebvre could steer it home, and he did exactly that. A couple of minutes of stoppage time to play, and Mateta's on the end of this, and Mateta rifles Crystal Palace in front, but the flag cancels it out. What a fine finish it was, but offside was Jean-Philippe Mateta as we entered stoppage time. He rattled it goalwards and beat Robin Roofs, but the flag comes to Sunderland's rescue. Well, that is half-time at the Stadium of Lights. 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Pino putting the visitors in front on the half-hour mark, but Enzo Lefebvre in the 33rd minute with a fine response, a well-worked goal. Finished very nicely by Lefebvre, and we are level at the break. Ballard, Reinildo. Fans trying to encourage Sunderland forward here and keep Palace on the back foot. Siddiqui, Reinildo, good position to deliver. He does just that. Trey Hume, plucked out of the air by Henderson. One for the cameras, really, that. Didn't carry enough power to beat the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Henderson always had this one in his grasp, really. Here's Mundle. Lefebvre wants the return. It breaks for Mukiele. He can hit them. He tries to chip it to the far post where Mundle is bundled over. Nothing happening as Xhaka plays it in. Breaks out for Alderete, and he lashes and screws it well wide, but the referee is being asked a question by Sunderland players and fans here. Was Romain Mundle fouled? Devaney it was that bundled him to the ground as Mundle was preparing to leap. Ballard for Siddiqui. Siddiqui's ball into Brobby, back to goal again. Now he's controlled and tries to take them on, and again doesn't get anything from the referee, or Crystal Palace for that matter, and Lacroix says, have a look at my jersey. There's so much holding going on. And he requires a new one, or a fresh Crystal Palace jersey. Spurred on by the home fans as Alderete plays it in low this time for Siddiqui. He's done well. Siddiqui into Brian Brobby. Chance! What a finish! He only needs one chance. Brian Brobby finished that superbly. That is a striker's goal, if ever you've seen one. A striker's instinct, superbly executed by the Dutch international. Patient build-up play from Sunderland, rewarded here. Look at that from Brobby. Dinked brilliantly over the goalkeeper. The instinctive finish. Dictating play once more for Sunderland. Nicely done. Mundle for Enzo Lefebvre, now Brobby on for Trey Hume. He can finish it here. What a save. What a save from Henderson. Trey Hume couldn't finish the game. Wonderful play from Sunderland, and the effort from Trey Hume superbly kept out by the goalkeeper. worked superbly well into his path, and you must have thought that this was destined for the back of the net. Mayenda. Be another Sunderland throw as we enter the final minute of the 90. In it comes. Ballard gets the flick on. Mayenda tries to squeeze it home, and Ballard with the rebound sees it saved, and Enzo Lafley blazes over, high over. Crystal Palace were floundering there, and Sunderland almost sealed the game. Ballard initially, Mayenda with the effort clawed away, and Henderson with a couple of saves. Into stoppage time at the Stadium of Light. 4 minutes to play. Planted wide by Roofs. Home is where the heart is. The Stadium of Light is quite a fortress. Sunderland remain unbeaten here this season. This is their 6th win in the Premier League here at home in this campaign. It's win number 8 of this Premier League season. And Sunderland moved to 33 points from their 22 games. It's their first Premier League win in 6 matches, the first since they beat Newcastle here on the 14th of December. Victory at home again. Sunderland 2, Crystal Palace 1.